Welcome to the Regis Center for Art. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Howard Ransky, Director of the Catherine E. Nash Gallery here in the Department of Art. I'm here tonight to celebrate the exhibition Instructions for Peace, curated by Marlina Gonzales. I would like to acknowledge and thank our co-sponsors who have helped to make this project possible. Here at the University of Minnesota, we've had the pleasure of working with the Department of Curriculum and Instruction in the College of Education and Human Development. Thanks to the support of Nina Asher, Professor and Department Chair, and Jim McKett, Assistant Professor and Art Education Program Coordinator, Catherine Wood, a graduate student in education, researched and compiled a study guide for the exhibition. In the community, we are very pleased to work in collaboration with our partners at the Fair School downtown, Kevin Bennett, the school principal, and Mike Elston, the director of school partnerships, and at Radio KFAI, Janice Lane Ewert, curator of the Collective Eye Jazz program. In the Department of Art, I'm grateful to the professional staff team that includes Mark Miram and Karen Hazelman. I'm very pleased that United States Senator Amy Klobuchar has recognized the value of Instructions for Peace. She was invited to be here tonight, and because of her schedule, she couldn't join us, but she sent me this letter, and I would like to read this to you. Dear friends, thank you for your kind invitation to join you for today's event. While my Senate schedule prevents me from joining you in person, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all of the artists exhibited in Instructions for Peace, and to thank Marlina Gonzales and the University of Minnesota for organizing and putting on this exhibition and event. I truly admire each of the artists' dedication to pursuing social justice through their artwork. The theme of tonight's event, Instructions for Peace, could not be more appropriate given the social challenges we face both in our local communities and throughout the world. Peace will always be elusive, but it is always worth striving for. And these artists have used their creativity and personal histories to start conversations about how to achieve this shared dream. As the senior senator from Minnesota, I believe in our history of promoting dialogue and searching for common ground and trying to solve complex problems. There is no one route to peace, and many steps along the way. This exhibition is a way to get us started on the journey. Again, thank you all for all of the hard work you do. I'm proud to serve you in the United States Senate, and I look forward to walking with you on the path to peace and social justice. Sincerely, Amy Klobuchar, United States. I'd like to mention that we have a television crew here tonight filming this event for a local cultural program that serves our Persian community. Amin is here. Amin, could you wave back to us? That's Amin. And Amin is compiling this filmed documentary for their television program. He may approach some of you to interview you. Please welcome Marlina Gonzales.
The next thing I'd like to utter before I say anything is I would like to call the name of every single artist who is part of the show in the gallery, as well as the artists who are participating tonight in various festivities. So please stand up when I utter your name, and please remain standing. I have an offer for you. And I'm doing this by memory, based on the floor plan of the gallery. It's the only way I can remember all of you, not even after that. So, Colette Gator, Emily Strauss, Lucas Square, Wing-Young Yui, John Noltner, Jan Selby, Rebecca McDonald, and Al Mansour, Janice Lane Ewert, Takumba Aiken, Ananya Chatterjee, and Ananya Dance Theater. Nikki Tokaroli, I am so sorry. I was attending a talk actually at Joan of Arc, which is a pretty radical Catholic church, because it's welcome to the GLBT community. And a woman had come back from Israel and Palestine, and she said she was going to tell us the experience that she had interacting with people from Israel and Palestine. And she said, everybody close your eyes. So please, everybody close your eyes. And picture a world at war. And when you can see a picture of war in your head, please raise your hands immediately. Okay, put your hands down. Now erase that picture and picture a world of peace. And picture it so clearly that you can smell it, you can touch it, you can eat it, you can walk on it, it's in your yard, it's in your kitchen, it's in the garbage can, it's in the streets, in the backyards, in the garage, in your community, in your schools, in the cafeteria, in the university, on buses, on bicycles and cars, on, in the eyes of your wonderful dogs and cats and pets, in every single inch of this space. And if it is very clear as your picture of war, please raise your hands. Because I think that our main problem is that we cannot even visualize this. We can visualize war. We have every single symbol for violence and war. We have so many different words and so many vocabularies in our own languages for war or violence. How many words do we have for peace? And I think that as artists, as creative thinkers, as people who are obsessed with expressing what is unexpressed, it is our individual responsibility to contribute to this ability to picture peace. So I present this to you as a challenge, not because I'm a peaceful person, because I am not. I'm a very passionate person with a lot of anger and a lot of fire in my butt. And my mother who's here can tell you that. But I think that we search for peace because we don't have it. Last night at the gallery, I want to also utter the names of young people who are part of this show, who's working in the Quarter Gallery. When I was growing up in Manila, I always wondered why I would read American books, and they would always say, "Oh, what a beautiful day." And I wondered why people were always saying, "Oh, it's a wonderful day today." And I grew up in the Philippines where the sun was always shining, and there were no such things as annuals because everything was always in bloom. And I thought, why would people say that? Like, what's the point? It's like, so it is, because it always is. And it wasn't until I came to Minnesota and experienced harsh winters, and for the first time uttered, when the sun came up, what a beautiful day. And I thought, we cannot understand what a beautiful day is unless we have seen ugly days. We cannot understand peace unless we have seen unpeace. And we all have experienced unpeace. Therefore, we all have the ability to know what peace truly means.
Around your head, push the waves and gather your friends, become the water and let it flow. Gather your friends, become the water and let it flow. Gather your friends, become the water and let it flow. And gather your friends, become the water and let it flow. And gather your friends, become the water and let it flow. Gather your friends, become the water and let it flow. Gather your friends, become the water and let it flow. And gather your friends, become the water and let it flow. Gather your friends, become the water and let it flow. And gather your friends, become the water and let it flow. Gather your friends, become the water and let it
Good evening, everyone. July 11th, 2013. We're at the Nash Gallery here, Regis Center for Arts. And this is a beautiful art exhibition that is going on from June 25th until July 20th. And it's called Instructions for Peace, curated by Marlina Gonzales, and I'm standing right next to her here. I would like to introduce her to the channel, and she can talk about this beautiful exhibition, what she put together, the people that work with her, and maybe go more into detail. Marlina, thank you very much for inviting us, first of all, here tonight, and maybe you can tell us a bit more about the exhibition and what this is about.
Actually, yeah, and thank you very much for taking interest in documenting this. I actually have a question for you, because
Sure.
Earlier today you said one of the media groups that you belong to is called Ajil.
Ajil is a community network. It's a community channel that we created actually not even a year old. It's a non-for-profit organization. It's a community-based channel where we meet talented folks from the Persian or Iranian community. We get together with them, we meet the artist or the person. Doesn't necessarily have to be an artist, it could be a scientist, it could be a child, it could be a pianist, it could be a head chef. But since this is an art event and Ms. Niku has invited us here, it's more focused on the arts. So,
And it interested me because Ajil, you said, means literally loosely translated.
in Farsi, Ajil means trail mix, exactly. It's the nutty trail mix that you eat, that everybody really loves, and you kind of pick through the nuts that you like, and the ones you don't want, you leave them aside. So we pick that name on purpose so that it's synonymous with the different faces that you see in a community. Some are bigger, some are smaller, some are nuttier, some are saltier, some are tastier. It's a synonym for a community which makes us up. So.
And I think that's essentially why I asked you that, is because that pretty much defines the inspiration and the nature of this exhibit. I'm originally from the Philippines, and we kind of have a similar version to Ajil, but ours is called halo halo. It's
Halo.
actually a dessert of sweet beans, and different kinds of beans, different colored beans, different shapes of beans and coconuts, different flavors. And halo halo literally means mix mix. And I feel that Ajil, halo halo, in a lot of our other cultures, we have in our vocabulary, whether it's to name a dessert or to name our children or our children's children, the way we address each other, this big brother, little brother, we have that in our language. And I think that the inspiration for doing instructions for these is to tell the world that all of us, especially those of us who now live in the United States, who have come from other countries, and those who are born here but come from other cultures, that we are that aji, we are that halu-halu. And this exhibit is to create a visual statement that these are the different colors that exist in this community. I think that especially with the last decade, when we really were involved with a lot of violence on a global scale, every time something happens somewhere else in the world that doesn't happen here, we end up creating a picture of a demonized other culture. And that demonized other culture then becomes, in the eyes of the American public or the mainstream, the enemy. And I think that if we could only look at each other in the eye, we would realize that you and I, even though I'm 4'11", we can still see eye to eye, and that we need to learn, and this is something I'm very passionate about, that we all need to learn to actually create the words and the vocabulary so that when we disagree, or when I think that you're wrong and you think I am wrong, that instead of walking away from the table or hitting each other or bombing each other on the national scale, that we stay there and we sit and we face each other and we try to work it out, because we still don't have the words for that. And I fear that if this generation does not figure out a way to address the conflicts that has caused this world to be in such turbulence today, then we will just keep regenerating this cycle of turbulence and violence. But if we can model something completely different, if these artists who are here tonight and through July 20th are able to tell you a story that you never thought of before, able to give you a perspective about conflict and about resolution that you never even dreamed about before, then that's a little step.
I have a question, Marlina. The presence of different artists here and their different backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, does that play a bigger factor in the instruction for peace as opposed to if this event was sponsored by an American company or American artists? The fact that we have different nationalities and cultures here, how different is that
I think
in this aspect?
Definitely by design, but also very natural that there is a collection of artists, assortments of languages and cultural perspectives and histories, and even conflicting histories that are here, because it says that we even are historically in conflict with each other. Some of the artists that are represented here come from cultures that have been torn by war. Some cultures are represented or stereotyped as unwanted or undocumented. So by having all the artists here as immigrants, it's a statement, really. Each and every one of us in this show, including you now doing this, documenting this, you are making a statement saying, we are here, this face and this skin and that skin, and this accent and that accent, that this is what America is. This is the face of America. And the face of America is the same face.
The new face of America.
As they say, the new Americans.
Yes.
But it's also the same faces that when you see in the media, we are bombing or are bombing each other. So I think that we have to look at each other face to face, not just because you like Chinese food, therefore that's all you know about Chinese culture, or you like pizza bread, therefore you only love to go to Holy Land because of the different olives. It's more than flavor of the month. I think that we really need to go deeper into each other and really confront the questions that we dare not ask each other.
Well, Marlina, I want to thank you very much. We certainly learned a lot today, very inspiring. What I remember the most is when you said close your eyes and picture a world of war, and then close your eyes and picture a world of peace, and not as many hands went up, and it really made me reflect. And I think being here shows how much love and prosperity is in the room, and I just hope that beyond these walls it can also be reflected through this beautiful artwork that you have curated here. Thank you very much for talking to our channel, and I wish you a lot of success in all your endeavors, and hopefully we can network in the future also. Okay, we're with the talented and Persian artist, Dr. Nikuta Farodi. As you know, we already filmed her beautiful artwork in her gallery, and we've covered really pretty much all of the pieces that she had created. We're at the Nash Gallery today in the Instructions for Peace event that we're covering, and we had the opportunity to meet her today, even though she's very busy and speaking to a lot of visitors. Thank you very much for giving us a few minutes. Nikupanam, 5 or 6 of your beautiful work is being displayed here at the Nash Gallery. I know them all, I've filmed them all, but if you want to just talk to us a little bit about why you picked these, why they're here, what they represent, and what you think other people who look at them might think and might resonate in their head.
Well, we had a meeting and for several times they came to my gallery, and it should be something international and people could understand, and of course it was my agreement and their suggestion. They had suggested on other pieces, but we at last, after discussion, we came to these 6 pieces.
Very interesting from a point of view of somebody non-Iranian or who hasn't grown up in that background.
You know, I mean, here I wanted to speak on how Iranian and why Iranian became Westernized. And I started to show the furniture. But also Iranian became Westernized for other, like drink, not coffee, not tea, but also alcoholic, or they learned that it goes, I don't know, other things, it could be caviar or other things. When you look at these, you can see that Iranian became Westernized, but still they stayed with their own art, like miniature art on the wall. And still they have their own, you know that Iranian likes food and they have their own food. And of course they have their own carpet. So it became mixed together. I gave 2 messages, how and why, which is in my website. Iranian became Westernized, and also I wanted to show the pure Iranian Persian dining room, which is here, you know, all windows, the fruit, the plaster work, even the way that I made those stands for those lights. There was no electricity at that time. They use usually candles and these oil lamps. That's the way that it was bought.
From the visitors that you had tonight, whether Persian or non-Persian, what are the average comment or feedback that you get other than great work, beautiful work, we're proud of you? Are there any, something that raises a flag or something, an objection maybe, or a question that makes you think?
Well,
as an artist, I guess you get that all the time.
Some teachers, some professors, they talked to me because they had a tool for their students, okay? And the students really, I'm so happy that they became familiar with Persian art, and they said that they had so many questions, and it became like, you know, a way that they start to think about Persian art. Today I had the professor who told me. So I got some notes from the students that they didn't even know really anything about Persian art, and they became familiar. That was different from the other messages or the other notes that they got.
The main theme why you're here today in the gallery at the Nash Gallery is the event is called Instruction for Peace.
Yes.
And we covered the dance, as you saw, it was very nice. All the other artists also from different backgrounds. How do you think your beautiful work from the Persian background relates to peace in general? And why it should be here?
Again, I had a discussion with the professor today and before, 1 week ago, that how you can see your artwork as peace. It was peace because I came to this country confused, depressed, and looking for my identity. I lost everything. My background experience, everything, and I was looking for my identity. How could I find my identity? And I find this way to give concrete to abstract. The abstract was my memory, and concrete was, started to make these things. And then I started to feel good, peace, and of course I did all of this inside. At first, instead of choosing the name Remember in Persia, I wanted to put another name, Living in Silence. Yes, I was very quiet, silent, but I knew what I was doing, searching my identity.
Well, I think this is a perfect proof of how multi-talented Nico Panom is, even though we're here to film her beautiful artwork, but as you see, she has a mountain of knowledge about public health, about working with immigrant people, especially with women, and she dedicated her entire studies, her thesis, all these years of work, hard work and study into this field, and hopefully we'll get together with her again to cover that. But as for tonight, as for the gallery, the Nash Gallery and the Instructions for Peace, and as for your beautiful artwork again, I just want to thank you so much for inviting us to the talk, to the reception here tonight. Hopefully we'll post also with the director for introducing also Ms. Marlina Gonzales to us. And we talked about our community network, about Agil. She even told us that there's a similar thing in the Filipino community about that. It was very nice and enchanting to hear. And as for you, again, congratulations. We're very, very proud of you in the community as the younger generation.
I should say thank you too, because I had this kind of exhibition. Probably this is the seventh one.
Not the first one, I know. You've had it, I think, in Sweden once. You've
Yes.
in Vancouver. You're here today. Maybe not your first time. And
In
you're
Chicago,
yes.
but this time I had lots of Iranian guests. And thank you very much for coming here, talking to me.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure.
I
Thank you
do
for
what I
inviting
can
us.
do for Iran. It's just love.
It's incredible.
Nothing
Beautiful.
else.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
Lots of
you.
success to you, and talk to you soon. Okay, we're here with the very talented Jane Selby. She's a movie maker, a documentary filmmaker, and at the Nash Gallery here, Instructions for Peace. And if you see in detail, we're in the peace section, so there's a beautiful peace sign on the floor with rocks that people have painted on, a message of love, a message of hope, a message of their actual cultural background and whatever it is. And we're here with Jane today, and I'd like to introduce her and have her talk to us about the documentary that is playing today. She's also done 2 other films that she told us about that are in the making, and that's going to give us a beautiful opportunity to meet her and to see her work. Jane?
So the film that is showing tonight is A Circle on 3 Lines, and that film is about the history of the peace movement. And it's a short documentary, about 10 minutes long, and it explains how the peace symbol, although very universal, many people don't understand where it came from. Do you know where it came from?
Well, I was going to throw the question back to you and say in one phrase, where does it come from and what does it mean? Why is it a triangle like that?
So, actually it was the 50th anniversary of the peace symbol in 2008. And what I found out through the research is I was able to talk to someone, Ken Colson, who is an expert about the peace symbol. And it was actually developed by a graphic designer in England. And it was for a peace march that was a march against the fact that bombs were being developed, and this peace march went from London to all around to protest the development of these bombs. And he said that they really needed a graphic symbol, so he created a symbol. And you know how flags are used in the Navy to represent different letters?
Yes.
So what he was able to do is combine the symbol for N and the symbol for D, which represents nuclear disarmament, and combine it into the peace symbol. And so that's
where it comes from.
Yeah.
Nuclear disarmament. And then
So really, that's what it originally stood for. What's interesting is, as you probably know, it's come to mean many different things to people that are related to peace, but for some people it means hope. For some people it's an anti-war statement. Some people it is an inspiration to work to change the world. And it's even been combined with environmental symbols about protecting the earth. And so in the research I did, I really appreciated that it's a symbol beyond language, and people around the world recognize it. And even though it means something slightly different, it really in general stands for the collective concept of peace and working together.
So the sign is very popular. People love the sign here. One more time with color, red and green. Another one with a little heart, flowers and lots of greens. 3 lines, which might be the number 3, whatever that is.
This is a nice one. This on here says, hold everyone.
Hold everyone.
And there are hands. And it says, hug you on the bottom. And then it says, hug me.
This one says peace, equality, love, and I think eternity. Nice.
And then,
As you see, a lot of people have different perceptions of peace. And to some, it might be the opposite of war. To others, it might mean the beginning of a lovely relationship. To some others, it might just mean prosperity and quietness and being together. To myself, I don't really know what it means. All of these, I guess. You see so much war in the world. As soon as you hear peace, the word war resonates more in my head. More than any other word that it should. Just because it's the opposite. See, right there, it says no war. See, there's the perfect example.
there's the concept of peace on so many levels. There's world peace, there's peace within a country, peace within a community, and what it really comes down to is peace within yourself and in your own family or relationships is the perfect place to start working on it because it's an ongoing process. I don't think anyone finds it naturally easy to always stay in that place, but if we can be aware of it, maybe it makes a difference in the world.
Well, we want to thank you very much for talking to us tonight here at the gallery. Beautiful work, beautiful documentary. We're going to have a chance to look up your work and also your other productions, either work in progress or already out there that you talk to us about.
Thank you very much.